So, you know how it's so amazing to come to realize that we're finally allowed to meet one another. We're finally allowed to connect with other empaths and other kind people. So just think about it this way. Most of our lives we've lived feeling alone, misunderstood, nobody gets us, right? That's the emotions that we suffered through, right? So we're like, oh my God, my family doesn't get me, my friends don't get me, nobody gets me. Then there's something off about me. Like there's something weird about me. There's something wrong about me. Like they're all something and I'm different. I'm an outsider. I can't seem to fit in and belong for some reason. And we all assumed that our suffering was only personally done to us. Like we couldn't find other people who suffered the way we had suffered or are going through the suffering. Even when we grew up, there wasn't this wasn't a conversation people have I'm feeling really hurt today, or I felt quite ignored by my friends, and so I don't know what to do. And then somebody else says, yeah, I felt the same way. And I felt the same way. Like there was no communication in that sense. So we were all very alone in our challenges, in our experiences, in our pains. And yet most of the world is feeling like they don't deserve, they're unworthy, they're, all the disempowered versions of them, they live inside everyone, right? Some their I don't matter is louder than I don't deserve, and vice versa. Some have all of them. Some have, most of us all have all of them. They just fluctuate from one to the other. But in general, it's like you've been brought up in a world where nobody spoke about this stuff. Like this was big taboo. It wasn't easy to find anyone to talk. And even if you did find a friend to speak to about it, it was not as deep as you could have gone, just not to irk them or not to be too dramatic, right? We were all scared to be too dramatic. So there was a sense of this is my own shame to deal with. And it was very shame-based, right? My own shame to deal with whatever I'm feeling inside. It must be only me. I must be the only one going through this. Everybody else seems happy. And even today, this is kind of what we sort of see in the social media. You think everybody's got it figured out. Everybody's got it figured out. Everybody's happier. Everybody knows what they're saying, knows what they're doing. You're the only one that doesn't know what you're doing. You're the only one that has depression. You're the only one that feels anxiety. You're the only one that feels sadness. You're the only one who feels alone. You're the only one that doesn't belong to anyone. That's that's what you've been going through. That's what you've been experiencing. You're the only one going through this alone, and everyone else seems fine and they have their stuff together, right? They figured it out. They figured something out. And it doesn't matter how old you were. You were 10 when you thought that, you were 2 when you thought that, you were 20, you were 40, you were 50, you were 60. There was always this assumption that they have all figured something out that you haven't figured out. Am I right? Okay. So, and then we grow up, okay, and life happens, energies start to shift, massive energy shifts, honestly, you can feel it. So much is shifting, so many people are waking up, all of a sudden speaking of your emotions is, to a certain collective, a handful of people is okay. But you're still unsure. You're around a lot of people that don't share their true emotions. So you're constantly hearing truth and then hearing the lie, and you don't know which one to believe anymore, because most of us empaths, you can sense the truth and sense the lie. You can know that somebody isn't telling you the thing, or they're holding something back, or they may not even know it. So they think it's the thing, but it's really something else, but you can tell, right? And so everybody's been fooling everybody. Everybody's been pretending they're happy when they're not. And everybody's trying to put their own opinion over everybody, like, oh, this is how you can be happy. If you bake the cake this way, you'll be happy. If you do the thing this way, if you make this much money, if you act this way, if you talk this way, if you look this way, if you brush your hair this way, if you put this kind of lipstick on, if you do this kind of mask, you'll be happy. So everyone's like pursuing this happy thing, not realizing that, oh my God, even the people selling the thing that makes you happy, they're not happy. They're obviously still looking for happiness and they don't know how to find it. But we've all been gaslighting each other. Like, we gaslight ourselves. We've been gaslighting each other. Like, we're like, oh, this product is what's going to make me happy. Oh, this money's going to make me happy. Oh, having this partner will make me happy. Having this house will make me happy. Living in this country. Like, constantly looking, and everything's being advertised all day, all night. Like, everything. Everyone's advertising how they found their personal happiness, and then you get to know them and you find out they're not really happy. It's just the thing that they thought that would get them happy, but then it didn't get them happy, but then they're still selling it because they need to make money off of it. It's a whole mess. And then the Great Awakening happens and people start to wake up, and slowly everybody's going inwards. Not everybody, but a lot of people are going inwards. You know, the empaths, the kind people, the wonderful kind people who were like, I'm all alone in this world and everybody's weird and maybe I'm the weird and everybody's normal. You go inwards and you start to declutter the mess, right? You start to go, declutter, and it's so painful to come out and you don't want to see it, but then you have to see it because then it just stays and it doesn't go. And you're doing all this work. And the great pandemic happens where everybody has to sit in their house. Everybody's locked in. You have no choice to just to sit with self and like deal with whoever is in that house with you. That's going to trigger the hell out of you to open up even more portals within so you can see more of your own junk and your own pain and your own disempowered versions and your shadow and all the stuff you want to call it, right? You're seeing all the stuff inside and you're like purging and crying and weeping. And like, if you had FOMO like me, you're like, oh my God, I'm not seeing any human being. I'm going through FOMO. And it was just mayhem, right? Everyone, like, no matter how much work you've done before that, the day that happened, whatever's still left inside was purging out, right? People were getting divorced, leaving jobs, changing homes, like everything was happening then. Lives were changing. Right? And then after that, people were still inside. Everyone started to self-reflect. Not everyone. You know what I mean. We all started to self-reflect. You started to look internally. You started to be like, you know what? I don't like to do that anymore. I don't enjoy doing that anymore. This is not something I want to do. I don't want to be with that person. I don't like this person's company. This isn't fun for me anymore. And you start to like discover the big no's of your life. And you're like, what? But I don't want this. I don't want this. I like that. I don't like this. Why did I do this my whole life? I don't want to do that anymore. And all this stuff is coming out. It's just like, just years of information just pouring out of you. Don't forget, there's also all the ancestral information in there. So you're just purging this stuff out. And so, of course, you have to be on your own. Like, you have to be on your own because you can't even depend on anyone, because you start to realize you're like so awakened to the fact that everybody else is going through this mayhem, so nobody can actually be there for anyone because nobody even knows what they're saying, right? Like, I was carrying on my one-on-one with clients, but I didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know what they're going through. There's the idea, but no matter how professional you are, you're still dealing with your stuff. And everyone's trying to help everyone, but nobody really knows what they're helping with because it's a huge shift and change that's taking place. So after we spend a few years of doing this internal work, and like slowly people are like, oh, you know, I am intuitive. I feel this way. And then, of course, with all that come out a whole bunch of narcissists who start to use the same language. And they start to like hook more people in, be like, come, I will teach you how to be happy. I have the thing for you. I used to be so sad. I was this. Come to my workshop. Come to my world. Read this. Do what I'm telling you. I am God, right? Narcissists, of course, entitled, all happy. You know, they like to look like the helpers, but they're not. They're just like fishing for energy. And so at that's a great thing. The huge spiritual industry took over completely, and everyone just started like migrating there. Like, gaslit into it migrating because it was so hurtful to be so alone and dealing with owns, or like, let's do it in community. But then to only wake up and realize, oh my God, this community is the same exact thing, just dressed up differently right now. It's acting differently. It's dressed up differently. So you're like, okay, I can't do that anymore. So I have to go back inwards. It's like we tried to like figure out a way not to do inwards. We tried our best to be like, I'm not really going to sit with myself. There must be a community that I can sit with myself with a community. But then we're still like connecting, right? We're still reflecting and assessing ourselves in comparison to. So then if you woke up from that utopic dysfunction where a lot of unconscious people were just riding the wave of the lingo, even if you watch interviews, like you'll find like one person's completely out of it and just they know the mantra, like, yeah, I sit with myself and my shadow and I talk to my inner child. They're like really good at the language, but you don't feel them inside. They haven't done, they are not feeling it. It is not their truth yet. It's their truth here, but it's not their truth here, right? But then the other interview is actually really in it. The way they talk is so different. There's no proving that they know what they're saying. There's more of like they're saying it just because it is who they are and it's what their life is. And so we've come to a place of where we can kind of decipher like truth from lies, right? Because this is what we're actually being purged out of us. It's like, get out of the program, get out of the program, get out of the program. It's suffocating the hell out of you. It has nothing to do with truth. And so we're doing the work, we're doing this. We got used to like being completely alone and sitting alone and doing the work. And yeah, you know, you'll have a friend here and a friend there that you can brainstorm, but you start to get to know that nobody can help you except for you and divinity and for you to be consciously aware. And that is like the scariest thing when you first wake up to that. You're like, there's no one I can turn to. There's no one that can hold my hand through this. Like, this is scary stuff. And it feels really lonely and it feels like hell. However, it stops feeling like hell. And there's a kind of a serenity. Yes, of course, I still have FOMO. Like a lot of FOMO people still have FOMO. And you'll still go through the whole, I just need to go and see people. And that's normal. And that's like, you have to actually love that version of you, because that's the version of you that's just like in love with humans and outings. In love that part of you. Don't denounce any version of you. Just they can all exist. There's nothing wrong with FOMO, fear of missing out. Hey, I love it, you know? But it's like we've come to a point now where we've done enough work alone that we know we're so conscious not to latch onto anyone's energy to help us, save us, where you can brainstorm with somebody. And it's kind of time where we're kind of meeting, where like there's a window or a door opening, cracking open and being like, how about they start to meet? Because they're more in their bodies. They're getting more familiar with themselves in comparison to themselves, that when they start to interact with other kind beings, they're not going to be codependent on them or trying to please them, because they found more of themselves. I'm not saying we all found ourselves 100%. Please, that'll just be a lie. I can't even say this about myself, and I've been doing this work for like 18 years. Man, honestly, I think I've been doing this work since I was 9. But when I actually like started to study the work, it was 18 years ago. But it means nothing, right? It's just like, I still haven't come 100% home yet. There's still stuff showing up. But in general, it's like, there's more of a you that exists. There's more of a you that exists that you can tell this is you and this is somebody else. Like you're able to see clearly. And now it's time for the kind people it's time for kind people, for you, for your kindness, to be with somebody who's kind, so that you can start to experience kindness. Right? What does it look like to be around another kind person instead of it just being solely me and me going through hell? Like, can I feel, and it feels like I'm getting crazy goosebumps. This whole time I've been just crazy goosebumps. It's like, can we actually be around loving beings where we don't have to manipulate who we are, we don't have to gaslight ourselves, and we don't have to be susceptible to being gaslit, we don't have to pretzel ourselves, we don't have to people please. We can just be ourselves and still be loved that way, and to love somebody else their way without having to love the narcissist, no matter how painful it is, and like deny like that upside down way of looking at love, but being more like, that's a kind person. How nice would it be for my energy to be around that kind person? Like, can I be vulnerable around that person and it not hurt me in return? We all have wounds, but it's a different energy. It's like, can you feel safe around a human being? Can you feel safe around another human being? This is what we're being tested. We're testing ourselves with now. I'm around another human being that's kind. I can be vulnerable and I can be authentic and I can be myself and I can be quiet if I want or speak if I want. It's irrelevant, right? I'll still be seen by them because I see who I am. Like, how does it feel now to be around kind people? And this is why we're kind of like getting an opportunity to see one another now. Like, how do kind people speak? Like, if I say the thing, what would a kind person respond? I haven't experienced that. What does a kind person respond? You know, is it always a fight? Is it an argument? Do they get upset? Do they stonewall like what we're used to? Or what is it? And then you'll get to actually interact and experience kindness in return from a kind being. And then you start to develop some safety within you around other human beings. So you've developed safety within yourself, a little bit of safety with divinity, a little bit of safety with self. And it's like, we are people who, we are humans. Humans love humans, right? We like interacting in community. So can I feel safe around somebody else? Can I feel safe around a different community? Can I decipher the difference? Like, maybe it's a community and two people I don't feel safe. Can I be okay with that? Can I be okay with the 10 I'm safe and the 2 I'm not? Can I be safe with the 2 that I feel safe and 10 not? Like, and how does it feel to be around somebody safe now? How does it feel to be, for kindness to come my way and I give kindness easily and there's just this natural rapport of kindness back and forth? This is what feels like it's opening up. I've been feeling it for a year, 2 years, and I've just been waiting because I thought it's here. Like, I'm anticipating. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And it just started opening now. So I guess I received that information, but because I'm not a very patient person, I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Anyway, I've been, where is it for 2 years? And now it's here and I'm starting to see it. And, you know, and just having our group open up is like, oh, there it is. There it is. We're allowed to meet. We're allowed to experience one another now. We're allowed to, you know, and so this is going to take time because our bodies as humans, we did not feel safe around humans. Being around another human being was not safe. We knew how to pretend. We knew how to fake smile. We knew how to pretzel ourselves. We knew how to change our identity, like manipulate who we are so that we are safe in somebody's environment. But we haven't experienced within us how to feel safe without manipulating who we are or doing any of the tricks of the trade to keep us surviving before around somebody who is safe and who is kind, right? They don't have to be like the most wisest person. They just have to be kind. Being around kind energy feels very different. I've been blessed because I've been around a few kind energies, and it doesn't matter what you say or who you are or how you feel, you're loved anyway. That is true kindness that we don't have on the planet, and we're starting to have the opportunity to experience with other kind people. I just call them empaths now because to me, these are the kindest species, right? But it's even nicer to call all empaths the kind people on the planet, the loving, right? The loving. Yes, they've been wounded, but they're loving. So you're going to experience kind people. And why is this happening now? So that you can feel safe in the presence of another human being. So I'm assuming in time when we collaborate and start to change the program around, you know, we're changing it collectively through the kindness of our hearts, because now we feel safe to do it for other humans. We're feeling more safe in the presence of other humans. There's no one who's going to backstab us or hurt us or talk behind our back or put us down or shame us for saying the thing or shame us for like being who we are. That isn't there. And it's time for us to experience that so our nervous system relaxes even more. We're not afraid and in our homes hiding because the world is mean. We're like, oh, wait, kind person, another one there. oh my God, there are more. Let me just lavish in this energy. And who do I become in the presence of another kind human being? Who do I become? Who do they become? Who do we become? So that's kind of the new shift that is happening. And I think this is where 2025, the doors are opening for these possibilities to start. You might meet one person, you might meet 10, but it's like these baby steps so that we don't get a shock and we don't run away in fear and be like, oh my God, no, 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 right? And for just to be like, oh, this is what it feels like. This is what safety with another human being feels like, because we didn't have it with our parents. We didn't have it with our teachers. We didn't have it, right? Maybe you had it with a parent or one teacher or some person. So luckily, we've all experienced some kind of kindness, but this kind of kindness we're all opening up to because we've sat with ourselves and we've purged a lot of things and we've come to terms and loved versions of ourselves. It's a different kind of kindness that I don't think hardly any of us ever tasted on this planet before from another. And I think this is what, oh, it's so intense. This is what we are about to step in, or we are stepping into, right? Where you're going to meet randomly different places, random, unexpected. You're just going to meet another kind person and you're going to feel it. And you're going to be as silly as you want to be, as intelligent as you feel like being, as strict or as happy. It doesn't even matter. Kindness will still come your way. You will still be shown kindness for exactly who you are, judgment-free from that person, because they've released judgment. They've stopped wanting to judge themselves. When we stop wanting to judge ourselves, everything changes. And this is what we're all still working on. The self-judging version of us, we're still working. We're still like, oh, there's another one that's judging me. Let me love her. Another one, let me love her. And we're doing that because it's time for us to meet, to sit together and to find safety within our humanity together. Is it making sense? Okay, I hope it is. I love you all so, so dearly, giving you so much love, so many kisses, and I hope you're having a wonderful time in this very intense energy movement, as wonderful as you can possibly get it. Just know your soul friends are there, and they're going through exactly what you're going through. You're not alone. They're looking for you as much as you're looking for them. And if you found one or two, that is great. It's starting, it's beginning. If you still haven't found them, that is still perfect, because they're out there looking for you and you're looking for them. And there is a meeting point. There is a meeting point that will happen. So take care. Beautiful, beautiful day.